I'm Jazz Panisa and I work for Severn Trent Water.
And I'm Teagan Williams and I work for Severn Trent Water.
What does a normal day look like in your apprenticeship?
So I've come off the apprenticeship scheme now, but my final placement before I came off the scheme was a Scrum Master. So that involved me demonstrating servant leadership qualities, where I had to empower my team to make decisions and to deliver value to the rest of the business and to our customers. I also had to have weekly webinars just for my university studies. So that was my 20% off the job experience.
So in terms of day-to-day, my apprenticeship, Monday is my study day. So I have an entire day every week that's dedicated to my university work. And that just consists of pre-recorded lectures, reading, and then a submitted unit task, which tends to be an essay. And then every kind of 6 or 12 weeks, we have an exam. And then that will go towards my final degree. And then Tuesday to Friday, I work at Severn Trent's in-house legal team with a range of different tasks, which can be research and answers to legal queries, drafting cautions, attending legal panels, writing and drafting witness statements. And that tends to just be my week, really.
How has your apprenticeship shaped your thinking of careers?
I think initially apprenticeships can be underrated. But so there are a couple of routes that you can go down. So you can go to university or you can do an apprenticeship. I think it just made me realise that actually you can achieve the same or even better outcomes doing an apprenticeship as opposed to going to university. Not only mentioning about escaping the university debt, but there are other things in terms of getting that valuable on-the-job experience, which I don't think you'd initially associate it with, I guess, with just the term apprenticeship, but there's so much more opportunities to apprenticeships than what people perceive it to be. So obviously getting your on-the-job experience, getting your off-the-job experience from other training providers, and then sort of being prepared to get a job role at the end of it, really.
So I guess for me, it was two things, really. I think the first is that there isn't one set route to the career that you might want to go into. And then I guess the second part to that is that the traditional route isn't necessarily the best route or the route that's most suitable for everyone. So whether I went down the traditional route or the apprenticeship route, ultimately I'd have came out at the same place. But for me personally, the apprenticeship route was more tailored to the way I learn. I prefer hands-on learning and doing things for myself. And that the traditional route, for me anyway, wouldn't have been as enjoyable. So I think that how an apprenticeship, I guess, has shaped my thinking of careers is that there's several ways to achieve the same thing, and one isn't necessarily better than the other.
What preparation can young people take for apprenticeship applications?
First off, I think it's quite important to read up about the company you're going to be applying for, and just to see if their values actually align to your own personal values. And I think also just to prepare any sort of typical interview questions, and then also use it as an opportunity to ask your own questions to the employer. So you might have some questions that you want to know a bit more about the company and ask if whether working in that company is going to be right for you in the future. So that's something else I would say to prepare for when you're doing your apprenticeship applications. But also just remembering when you're undertaking the process that you have as much of a chance as anybody else does with undertaking the apprenticeship application process. And there are also many websites out there that can support you, because I do understand the application process can be quite lengthy. So there are websites like the BAME Apprenticeship Alliance, the BAME Apprenticeship Network, and then there's obviously the government apprenticeship website that can support you with that.
So in terms of preparation for apprenticeship applications, I guess there are 4 main tips I'd give, really. The first is interview preparation. So for a lot of young people, they'll never have been to an interview before. So it can be quite daunting and you may not know where to start. So I would suggest preparing. This could just be writing down answers to how you would answer some typical interview questions, but it could also be practicing it with a parent or a friend and just getting used to answering those questions. I guess the second point would be research the company. So I guess that does really impress the interview stage, because you've taken the time out to learn the company and understand what their values are and what that company is about. Thirdly, don't be afraid to ask questions. So it will show that you're keen, and a part of the interview process is not only for the employer to learn more about you, but for you to learn more about them. And an apprenticeship tends to be, you know, whether it's 2 or 5 years, it is a commitment. So you want to make sure that you know what you're letting yourself into, and that you're asking any questions that you might have on the day. And last of all is just try and make yourself stand out. So everybody has strengths and everybody's strengths are different. So I think try and use your strengths to your advantage as a way to stand out from other applicants.
What are the important qualities young people should talk about in their apprenticeship applications?
I think you should ensure that you're really selling yourself to your employers. So just be aware of what experience you can actually offer as an apprentice. So, for example, what I did for mine was just think about any experience that I had, whether it was responsibilities that I had in school, responsibility that I had in any sports clubs or martial arts clubs, or any other jobs that I had undertaken before the apprenticeship, even though that was just one job as a technician at school. And I sort of just looked at how I could utilise those best qualities for the apprenticeship. So I looked at sort of some of the buzzwords on the apprenticeship application and kind of looked at how I could utilise my skills there and how I've implemented them in previous placements or previous experiences I've had.
2 really important qualities that you need for an apprenticeship are time management and organisation. So the employer will be aware that you've got to strike a balance really between working and having a personal life and also studying. So I think being able to show that you can display organisation and time management skills are really important. I would also suggest including a small part in your application about your hobbies and interests. So I guess just showing what your life is like outside of work, what you enjoy doing, because although your practical skills are really important, when an employer is hiring you as an apprentice, they are, I guess, investing in you and your education and putting you into a job role really. So they want to know more about you and what you do outside of work. And I guess also is demonstrating self-awareness. So being able to explain what your strengths are, but also being able to acknowledge not necessarily what your weaknesses are, but what you feel that you can improve on, or what you feel that the apprenticeship will be able to help you improve on, because I think self-awareness is important, and it will also show what you feel that you can learn and improve on during your apprenticeship.
What should young people look for in an ideal employer?
So I think a young person should look at an employer's core beliefs and values and ensure that it aligns to their own personal beliefs and values, because as a young person who's pretty much just starting out their career, you want to make sure that you're working for a company that you'd like to stay with longer term after the apprenticeship scheme, and a company that you can relate to. So that was the case with with Severn Trent Water, for example. So I know that their business was for need and not for wants, and it was just something that attracted me to them. But I also think just take advice from family and friends who've worked for certain employers or heard of certain employers, because that helps me with applying for my apprenticeship and generally with my experiences with choosing an employer.
There are 3 main things you should look for in an employer. I think the first is work-life balance. So most young people that are undertaking an apprenticeship, work-life balance is really important. It's making sure that, yes, okay, in the week you might spend it studying and working, but that you've also still got quality of life outside of work and you're still able to do all the things that a young person wants to. I guess the second point is opportunities. So does the job allow for you to progress, for you to learn and for you to develop? And is there an opportunity for you in the business after you complete your apprenticeship? And I guess last is what benefits working for that company can offer you. So do they have a good pension scheme? Because although when I first started at Severn Trent and people started to talk to me about the pension scheme, I wasn't really bothered because it feels like ages since I'm going to retire, but the pension scheme at Severn Trent is a real benefit to me. Things like discount off gyms and that sort of thing. So looking at what benefits the company can offer you as well.
What unique opportunities has your apprenticeship given you?
So I think my apprenticeship has allowed me to gain a first class degree as well as having suitable on-the-job training. So you wouldn't get that if you were to go to university, because you get the degree, but you would not necessarily have that on-the-job training, which is relevant to the field you'd want to work in. And also, you're not always guaranteed a job role at the end of your uni studies. So luckily for Severn Trent, they did keep me on after the apprenticeship scheme. And unfortunately, with university, you might not have that. You might lack experience, which might make it more difficult for you to get a job role in the future. but I feel now I have got the skills and I'm equipped to proceed in a Scrum Master full-time role. But the other thing, sort of aside from my job role, I was nominated for the BAME Apprenticeship Awards, and I did receive highly commended in the digital category of 2020. So I think just little recognitions like that, it's just a win-win for everybody, really. So not only for me as an apprentice, but it's actually a win-win situation for the employer and for the BAME community, and hopefully that it does inspire other young people in those sort of communities.
There's so many unique opportunities I could talk about that my apprenticeship has given me. I think a big one for me has been networking. So I guess it's that old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I've had the opportunity to meet lots of quite well recognised or high profile barristers, Queen's Counsel barristers. So that's been great to be able to network with other apprentices, but also people, I guess, that are quite high up in the legal field. I've also been able to do an array of different types of training. So my apprenticeship allows me to move seats. So I'll experience lots of different types of law. So it doesn't just pigeonhole me to one subject. It allows me to look around and decide what I like, what I don't like, and what I'd like to do going forward. It will also allow me to do a secondment. So I'll do a 6-month secondment to private practice. So it gives me, I guess, a feel of what my job's like now in-house, but then also what it's like to work in a private practice. So it shows me the two sides to law. Business knowledge is another thing that I guess you probably wouldn't get if you were at university, understanding how a business works and the different elements in a business. I also have a seat at the ethnicity working group. So this involves working on the company's D&I strategy, doing podcasts, promoting Black History Month. So that's been really interesting to also see that side of business, as well as being able to go out with HR and go to careers fairs and promote apprenticeships to young people. But I guess outside of unique opportunities that are directly related to my job, doing an apprenticeship obviously means that you're earning as well, and earning probably significantly more than you could just working part-time at university. So that's opened opportunities for me in my personal life as well. You know, it's allowed me to learn to drive and get a car, and you know, it's allowed me to get a mortgage on my first house. And those are all things that I'd never be able to achieve if I hadn't gone down the apprenticeship route. So it opens a lot of doors to you in your personal life as well.